Hello and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. Now I know, I said it'd be a little while before I'd see you again, but something has come to my attention. So I know it's probably feeling like Dirty Harry. You know, now I know what you're thinking. Didn't he say it would be a while before you'd see Admiral's War? Well, in all this excitement, looking and posting stuff on BGG, I noticed that there's no unboxing video. So I had to ask myself a question. Should I unbox? Well, do you feel lucky to? Korchnoi? And actually I do. So, since I discovered there's no unboxing video for the Admiral's War, which just came out here in the last month or so, I thought I would do so. So here we go. Alright, so Admiral's War, as you can see, very cool cover. Right away, I can be honestly say one of my favorite covers I've seen. Back of the box. Nice detail there. Nice bold information. Shows you the counters. So good box as far as content, what's inside goes. And hold on a second, listen to this. This sucker's heavy. When I picked that up from my mailman yesterday, I had my mail in one hand, and I went to grab this sucker in the other. And she put it into my hand, and I'm like tilted. I was like, whoa! I felt like a ship that just took a torpedo hit. I was like, whoa, wait a minute! I almost lost my balance, literally. It's crazy, man. So, let's see what's inside the box. Oh, now this is a serious box, man. Alright. Now, of course, for those of you who already know, this is basically a re-implementation of War at Sea and Victory in the Pacific. Which I skimmed the rulebook online, which is available. You can check it out if you want to before you buy it. And it does seem like there's some interesting changes. There's quite a few optional rules, which look very cool. And the big thing about this is you have to play the whole war. You can't play separate theaters. Supposedly, there is... I shouldn't say supposedly. Let me step back. The designer has said that there's going to be rules and information for just theater setup for each map coming in the future. So let's put it that way. Alright, so of course... the reason I prefaced that was, as you all know, this is a buckets of dice game. I like the dice. I like the colors, too. Look at that. A veritable potpourri. Lots of bags. But, of course, I'll just use sandwich bags. I always do, you know, seriously, I just always do standard sandwich bags. And then for cards, I usually use, like, quart-size bags. Alright, let's see. Here is the rulebook. Alright, let's take a look here at the rulebook. Alright. Nice print. Decent size. Good color. I mean, nowadays you really expect, you know, all the rule books to have color and stuff. Here, I'll come in a little bit so y'all can see a little better here. Show you these pages. Got all this information here. Nicely done. I haven't actually read the rules that detailed yet. I kind of skimmed them because, again, like most of you out there, I've played War at Sea and Victory in the Pacific, so... but what I skimmed seemed interesting. And quite frankly, I'm working on trying to find a way to play this solo. I'm trying to come up with some charts and tables. I'll keep you posted on that too, because quite frankly, one of the things that hesitated with me with this was it has been always so hard to play this game solo. But I liked what I saw in the rulebook. I liked what I was seeing production-wise and stuff. And actually, I didn't kickstart this. I thought about it and I didn't. Wish I had. But I did go to Canvas Temple Publishing, who is the publisher of this, and they were having their sale in December, and I got it for $30 off. So, I mean, you know, decided to take a chance that way. So, again, the rulebook is nicely done. I mean, there's not a whole lot of huge stuff here, okay? But, you know, there's stuff here about Japan and U.S. entering the war, because, of course, you know, this starts in 1939. You can even begin this game, one of the optional rules. As you see here, there's lots of optional rules. They're about 5 or 6 pages. But, you know, separate Norway, you can begin on turn 0. So you can begin before Norway's been occupied by the Reich. So that's cool. And then you've got a very cool Tora. And the other thing I like about this, too, let me just zoom in here real quick, as I look at this here, and again, I read the rulebook online, is I like this, too, where it tells you who gets the advantage and whether it's going to give you anything or not, okay? And these are all a bunch of basically die rolls of all the stuff that was happening that morning and seeing, you know, like you can see here, does the codebreaker find Marshall? Telegram mark urgent. General Short in his office. Does Kimmel sortie the fleet? Holy cow, Batman. You know, I mean, there's lots of stuff going on with that, okay? So that's cool. There's even an optional rule for the Greek Navy, Italian naval buildup, and then there is a example of play with diagrams at the end. So that's nice. About a 30-some page rule book. Got some charts on the back. So pretty cool. All right. Now, I'm going to hold off on the paper maps here. This game comes with 2 sets of maps. One is the paper maps that you can do, which this is pretty nice. It's not just, you know, it's pretty sturdy. It's let me come back out again and make it easier. There we go. But I'm gonna do the mounted maps, okay, here. But I mean, you can even see with that. Just look how cool that looks. Oh, can't wait to open the mounted ones here for you in a minute. So here we go. Let's keep rolling, roll them. This is a nice touch. Look at this. This is a beginner scenario using the Battle of Midway. So if you never played this before, this is a one-turn scenario to get you comfortable with the rules. Very cool. Nicely done. And what do we have here? We have, well, here, I'll tilt this back up again. We have reference card, basically what was on the back of the rulebook, it looks like. Okay. So I guess somebody gets the back of the rulebook and somebody gets the card. Here's the setup. Let's see, the Axis one's here. Alright. The IJN, the Italian Navy. Apologies to Dan and no enemies here. Il Duce. And there's the Germans, to say it the way Blackadder does. But he's German. So, there's all that. There's a setup, reinforcements. Okay, cool. And we got a second card like that of the Allies. And we have US here in the blue. We have the British in the green. Okay. The French in the blue. Okay, very cool. Nice, sturdy. Here we go. Here come the counters. So the counters are definitely an improvement on the old ones. I mean, the old silhouettes were nice and stuff, but I mean, you know, just kind of, I mean, just take a look here at, let's go down. Let me just take a look at some of these counters here. This looks really nice. You got the Wasp there. You even have the Ranger. You got the bigger carriers, the Yorktown, the Lexington. Okay, the plane icons that are on them. I like that. Okay, so there's the sheet with the U.S. Whoops, wrong direction. Sorry. There's a sheet with the U.S. and the French. And here's the IJN. Ah! Holy smoke, I'm losing a whole row of counters. Well, I guess we don't have to worry about them being hard to punch out, huh? Look at the whole bottom end there. The British Navy, they must have heard the war zone already. Oh, they're gone. Look at that. They're off. They're ready to roll. You know, always be prepared, right? Oh, wait, that's the Boy Scouts. So, but then we got the Japanese ships up there. And again, not a whole lot of ships because, you know, there just isn't a ton of ships there. Let me put these stragglers off to the side. These guys here. Oh, look, somebody's missing here, too. Man overboard. But here's the LBA. Here's the U-boats. I like the new look of the U-boats. Control markers, base markers. This is used, I think, for one of the optional rules, if I remember skimming the rulebook online. And over here we've got the rest of the Italian Navy. And, oh, there's the counters for the Greek Navy. Oh, that's cool. Very cool. And you got your damage markers. Much better than the old version. Okay. Oh, here's our man overboard. Who is it? Who is the other counter anxious to play in my copy? It is... Well, it's upside down is what it is. It is up. It's the 4th Marines from the halls of Montezuma. Yeah. They're ready to roll. Okay, now... the big moment. The mounted map boards. Let's take a look here. You know what? I'm going to start with the Pacific because I've always liked the Pacific theater better than the European theater when it comes to the naval war. Sorry, folks. Sorry there. Holy cow. Now that I'm looking at this is going to take up most of my table here. My table is 86 inches long. Whew. Look at this. Wow. Oh, it's upside down. Some trouble keeping people being upside down today, huh? Oh, look at that, would you? Nice. Is that as far out as I can go? Yeah. Very cool. Oh, I really like this. It's very different from, if you remember, the Avalon Hill one they used to have was kind of neon, you know. Every time I pulled that out to play it, all I could think in my head was that that VH1 show they used to have 8-track flashback. Yeah, yeah. Alright. Now I know that some people were talking about Indonesia and what it does touch and what it doesn't touch. I haven't had a chance to take a look at that. But nice, lots of space. I don't think you'll have any trouble with crowding here. Here's repairs and stuff. The truck holding box. There's holding boxes. Victory point track. Nice. Very nice indeed. And then, of course, we also have, because I have noticed that there's a sizable chunk of my viewers, that's about 20% of you, that come from the UK. So I don't want y'all to feel slighted. So here we go. Here is, oh, check that out. Now that is nice too. Look at that. Actually, you know what? Let me get, because I thought they were going to lay the same way. Let me quickly slide out the Pacific map here real fast and bring it back out. Okay. Let's see, there we go. And there we go. Always a sign of a good map is how fast you can fold it back up to where it was. That took no time at all. Okay, and last but not least, we have, of course, the European map. Got all these spaces here. Here's the connection line to the Pacific Theater. Very cool. Down there. And then way up here at the top, we also have the turn record reinforcements. So cool. So everything you're supposed to get is up there for each country and color coded. Oh, that's very cool. I like it. They got French fleet dilemma chart. What to do with that when France falls. Because obviously they feel it will. But I mean, you know. So, okay. This is looking totally awesome. So I'm anxious to get into this. Check it out. See what's up. Here, I'll do one more thing here. Since I kind of just showed you with zooming in. But I'll show you a close-up of one of those British counters that set sail here. Here is the Howe, and I'll be honest, I'm not a great naval expert, especially when it comes to the Battle of the Atlantic, although, yeah, I know, I just posted a video on the Battle of the Atlantic yesterday. Yes, haha, I'm aware of the, I don't know if that's irony or not, but anyway, you get the point. So here is the Howe, the front side of it, and then here is the back side. So, you know, the patrolling versus raiding, if you're familiar with the old games. Okay, so there you go. There is a quick, easy unboxing of this. And I'm just kind of curious. Are the paper maps bigger? Let's find out real quick. I doubt it. I don't know why they included the paper maps with the mounted maps, other than I guess the mounted maps are stretch goals. Like I said, it in Kickstarter. Yeah, it's basically the same size. So, I guess, I don't know. I guess you could keep this folded up and, you know, keep it near you so you can read this easier rather than craning your neck all the way across the table, depending on how you deploy this, I suppose. But anyway, there are the paper maps there. And as you can see, they're basically the same size. Okay, so there you go. A very quick, fast and furious unboxing of the new release from Canvas Temple Publishing. You can see their logo down there, CTP, of Admiral's War, World War II at Sea. Okay, next time. Well, I already went over that last video. If you want to know what's coming down the pike, then go ahead and check out my last video about the Battle of the Atlantic. Like the last 5 minutes, I go over what I'll probably be doing next as far as shooting a video is concerned. But it won't be this game. So, spoiler alert there. Okay. Alright. As always, this is Tim Korchmai from Bare Bones Wargaming saying thanks for watching, and I shall see you next time.